What is going on, peeps? Let's get back into Iraq because, again, there's some more good news. There really is. And I like what I'm seeing here. I really do. Before we get into that, though, you definitely want some money outside of the system. I cannot stress this enough. All right? And that money is gold and silver. And so when you go to buy your gold and silver, give it a consideration to our friends over that Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you looking for my address, there it is. And you guys know I have this other website where I'm posting videos that I cannot post here on YouTube. It is really starting to grow at a quick rate. I just want to say I appreciate it. And for those of you who have not checked out the other website yet, I encourage you to do so. The link's down below in the description. You guys know I got Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's a Facebook group with the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here we do talk about gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies as well as foreign currency investments. It is free to join. If you have any questions, feel free to post something in the group. They're pretty savvy. You know, they'll be able to answer the question if I can't get to you. All right? So what's going on in Iraq? There's quite a few things going on there. I'm a little concerned about my friend not being there no more. They got called back and didn't really know why he got called back. But nonetheless, they are moving forward. So one of the things I notice is here, the American call to treat Iraq's militia as ISIS and support Al-Qademi's new term. So is he running for a new term? I must have missed that little booger, man, because I can't be more. I'm thrilled. Seriously, at that news, that's just great news. Where would he know what he's accomplished in just 1 year with his cabinet? Seriously, he's accomplished a lot. Another year in office with his cabinet, that would just be phenomenal, to be quite honest with you. He's doing a great job, and I want to see him continue. This is good for the Iraqi people. There's a lot of things changing. They're doing away with the corruption. Things are starting to look back up. ISIS is no longer there. The thing that I'm concerned about, of course, is the the population mobilization group. Because they were listening to Al-Qademi, and they seem to be being targeted right now. So I'm a little concerned about that. Sadr was working with them. I just see that continue. So yeah, we want to see Al-Qademi back in office. Heck, yes, we do. Okay. So the Brookings Institute did a little write-up. And it called for the starting to deal with Shiite militia in Iraq in a similar way to the way ISIS is treated, and to develop policies accordingly to make its fighting sustainable and verifiable. So, you know what? Maybe. I'm not thrilled about that. I don't want anything that's going to rock the boat. Al-Qademi, ever since he's been there, he's never had too much of a real problem with the militia people that I'm aware of. He seemed to have them pretty much under control. So I don't feel very thrilled about this. But if these people are going to interfere with Al-Qademi running the government, then by all means, Pinto Bean, let's get in there and remove these people. We want to get rid of the corrupt. We want to get rid of the people who are terrorists. Those who should not be in there need to be removed. So again, it goes on and it just talks about how Washington or the Brookings Institute thinks that, you know, we should label them as ISIS. This is going to go a long ways because these people are proxies for Iran and Iran, I should say. And, you know, they're not benefiting the Iraqi people in any way, shape, or form. So I get that portion of it. I do. But I just didn't realize that Al-Qademi was having any real problem with them. They seem to be under his control pretty good, especially since Sadr seemed to be working with Al-Qademi. I might be wrong, but nothing I saw in the news throughout the year made me think otherwise. So we'll keep an eye on that. What we don't want is a bunch of doo-doo being stirred up. Now, we know there's been a lot of rocket attacks, and they're being accused of it. All right, so if they are indeed guilty of these rocket attacks, then I say fine. Go ahead and do what you can to deal with them to stop that from happening. I'm just hoping we're not accusing a group of people of doing something and come to find out that no, they never were doing what they're being accused of. Not very thrilled about that. So, Anyways, so Al-Kademi and the president of the Republic discussed the results of the strategic dialogue and holding the elections. Okay, so this is good. So basically, when Al-Kademi got back into town, he went to meet with the big dog, which is Saleh. He is the president of the Republic. I'm sure just to say, hey, this is what Biden says. If he greases his palms, no, just kidding. I'm sure what he did is share all the information that they did. What happened? We're there. What did you guys talk about? What did you accomplish? Okay, but I do like what they're talking about in here. This is what I'm talking about. So anyways, in the statement from the president's office to the news that the President Saleh received the prime minister, and they discussed with him the overall political, security, and health and economic situation in the country. The statement added, let's get to the good stuff. Oh yeah, this is it. The statement added that Al-Kademi briefed President Saleh on the results of his official visit to the United States and the outcomes of the strategic dialogue, noting that the President of the Republic praised the results of the strategic dialogue with the President of the United States and distinguished efforts of Al-Kademi and the government negotiating delegation in this regards, noting that the importance of uniting national forces in order to achieve stability and strengthening Iraqi sovereignty and the supreme interests of the country. Yeah, that's what you want. And we talked about this. If they get the troops out of there, fine. You know what I mean? This is another step towards having their own sovereignty. That's big. Because we know in order to be at that level, you're going to have a recognizable currency. The American ambassador in Baghdad, Washington, does not want any escalation with Iran and on Iraq soil. Well, we're going to go out on a limb here and say, well, we don't want that neither. So stop bickering with one another. They seem to be going out of their way to continue to fight with one another on Iraq soil. So, anyways, that's just Matthew Toller making his pitch to the government. Now, this is what I like. I love it. I want some more of it. The jump in prices of Basra and light crudes to $77 a barrel. Now, I could have swore by now to be around 80, but not too bad. I'm just missing the point. I still think it'd hit $100 a barrel right around fall time, but by the end of the year especially. So this is good because we know they budgeted for 42 at first, switched it up to 45. Everything above that is just icing on the cake. In other words, there won't be no deficit. In addition to that, they will have a surplus in which they could use that money and are using that money, by the way, to fire up some projects so people can get back to work. That basically rebuilding the different infrastructures around Iraq. So this is butt kicking right here. I was happy to see this. I'm happy for Iraq. Parliament Finance. Now, this threw me off just a little bit. It said Parliamentary Finance, the 2021 budget will be passed without a deficit. Our situation is economically secure. I was like, wait, didn't they already pass the budget? But then I do remember they put some type of suspension on it because they were arguing over making some adjustments back to the currency, but nothing was done to that. So the budget obviously was a pass. So anyways, it goes on to talk about we know the money being high on oil really covers the deficit that was in the budget. So there's no need for borrowing, no need for the IMF, there's no need for the World Bank. Keep all the bad people out of there. No borrowing. Good. That's what we want. So, good. Excuse me. It just goes on to say right here, the Parliamentary Finance Committee on Saturday, July 31st, the financial budget for the current year will be passed safely and without a deficit. Yes, that's good. That's a strong economy. This is what we want. All right? Without a deficit in the event that global oil prices continue above the level of $70 per barrel. What do you mean? If you budget for 45, if it's above 45, you're doing good. It will continue to climb. We know this. So it goes on to say that the person being interviewed spoke to the news and said the following. The extent of the budget deficit directly depends on global oil prices and the closer this figure is to what is established in the budget, the real deficit will be a large and is as proven speculative. Okay, so basically, I hate the way to translate it. So look, the larger the number, obviously there's no deficit. That means the amount of money they were planning to get was lower than what they actually got. This is good. This causes a surplus. I'm really happy about this. Again, this just shows, well, I'm going to say this with a caution. This is good news. You're getting a lot more money. That just shows you that the economy is doing a little bit better. But unfortunately, it's just all in one area, which is just oil. So again, if something happened to the oil, that screws up everything. So they need to take this time, take advantage of what's going on, take that extra money and start building the private sectors up around the country. So we're going to see that happen. Okay, we know the coalition is still there doing their own thing, okay? And we know about this from the other day. So I like this. I like this a whole lot. I like the, I don't like this thing here though, but. So the budget has no deficit. Congratulations. The oil prices continue to go up. This is awesome. Everything is looking good. They are going to pass the budget with no deficit. I like it. But just like you, I'm sure I'm pretty curious about what the 2022 budget is going to have if the oil prices continue to stay high. Anyways, that's it for now, man. Hit the thumbs up button because that is awesome news, man. If you're not a subscriber, please do so because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.